When you think of silver, what comes to mind? Probably jewelry, right? Or maybe old coins. But what if I told you it's actually one of the single most important metals fueling our entire technological future? Today, we're diving into why this shiny metal is suddenly at the very heart of everything from AI to the green energy revolution. And that brings up a huge mystery right away. If silver is so unbelievably critical for our most advanced tech, why has its price been stuck in the mud for the last 40 years? It just doesn't add up. So let's unpack this. To really get what's happening today, we first have to look back. Because at the core of this whole story is a mystery that's been going on for decades: the alleged suppression of silver's real value. So what do we even mean by price suppression? Well, think of it like this. It's the claim that there's been a coordinated effort, mostly happening in financial markets, to keep the price of silver artificially low, completely disconnected from what supply and demand in the real world say it should be worth. According to the source material, this wasn't just one thing. It was a whole playbook, a three-part punch. First, you flood the market with paper silver, futures contracts that are actually backed by physical metal. Second, you have governments strategically dump their physical stockpiles anytime the price starts to tick up. And third, you push a narrative in the media that investing in silver is just wild speculation for conspiracy theorists. But here's the crucial part. The claim is that after 40 years, this whole game is finally breaking down. The demand for actual physical silver is just becoming too massive, too powerful for the paper markets to control anymore. So, what changed? Well, that history is only half the story. The other half is silver's complete and total transformation into an absolutely irreplaceable metal for our modern industrial world. Just look at this number, 59%. Let that sink in for a second. That is a huge shift. Today, well over half of all the silver demanded in the entire world isn't for jewelry or coins. It's to build the technology that runs our lives.
And you can see exactly where it's all going. Electronics are the undisputed king, with solar power coming in as a very strong number two. And these aren't some niche industries. They are two of the biggest, fastest growing sectors on the entire planet.
Okay, so you might be thinking, why can't companies just use something cheaper, like copper? The answer is simple. They can't, because silver has these incredible physical properties that no other metal can match. It is literally the best conductor of both electricity and heat on planet Earth. For the high-performance, super-efficient technology we depend on, there is simply no substitute. I mean, just think about that for a second. The smartphone you're probably holding right now, the electric car driving down your street, the solar panels popping up everywhere, and the massive data centers making the AI revolution possible, every single one of them absolutely depends on this one metal. And this central role in our tech brings us to the next chapter of the story, a demand explosion that, frankly, shows no signs of hitting the brakes. Let's just take this shift to electric vehicles. A normal gas car needs a good bit of silver, sure, but an EV, it can need almost double the amount. So every single time an EV replaces a gas car, that's a net increase in global silver demand. And it's the exact same story with green energy. Every single solar panel needs about 20 grams of silver just to work properly. Now try to multiply that by the hundreds of millions of panels being installed around the globe. The numbers just get mind-bogglingly big really fast. And then, just when you thought demand couldn't get any crazier, along comes the newest megatrend, artificial intelligence. AI servers run incredibly hot, and they need to be ridiculously power efficient. And guess what that means? The new data centers being built for AI use, 2 to 3 times more silver than the ones that came before that. So it's clear demand is surging from all sides. It's a perfect storm. But what about the other side of that classic economic equation? Let's talk about supply. This chart right here shows a pretty worrying trend. For the last several years, the world has been in a major silver deficit. That means we are using way more silver than we're actually mining and recycling. We are literally burning through our savings year after year. And when you look at the projections, this problem looks like it's only going to get worse. I mean, look at that contrast. Industrial demand is forecasted to grow by as much as 47% by 2030, while mining supply is expected to grow by maybe 8% if we're lucky. That gap is just not sustainable. But why? Why can't the miners just ramp up and dig more silver out of the ground? Well, it comes down to what's called the byproduct problem. See, most of the world's silver isn't found in dedicated silver mines. It's pulled out of the ground as a byproduct of mining for other metals, like copper, zinc, and lead. That means silver production is tied to the demand for those metals, not its own. So let's put it all together. You've got a long history of price suppression, you've got this exploding, unstoppable industrial demand, and you've got a supply that's structurally broken and can't keep up. What on earth does this mean for the future? Are we about to see a totally new era for silver? There's a quote from the source material that really captures this turning point perfectly. The decade of suppression is ending. The decade of recognition is beginning. The idea is that the old forces holding the price down are about to get completely run over by silver's undeniable importance to the modern world. Now, of course, no future is guaranteed. The bull case is pretty clear. It rests on all those powerful trends we've been talking about. But you have to look at the other side, the bear case. A huge global recession could hurt demand, a miracle new technology could suddenly replace silver, or a massive new supply could hit the market. It's really important to see both sides of the argument. So if silver does break out from these suppressed levels, what could that look like? Well, we can actually look at a historical precedent, gold. After its own long period of low prices, gold began a multi-year bull run that saw its value rocket up by over 900%. The argument is that silver could be on the verge of a similar journey. And that really brings us to the final critical question. As our entire world goes electric, as we lean into AI and green energy, all these technologies that are completely dependent on silver, are we finally, after all these decades, about to see the true value of this incredible metal revealed?